imposter syndrome implies that you've done stuff good. I don't know if that's true. I don't have imposter syndrome because I don't think I'm good, right? But what I am realizing is that I'm worse than I thought I was.
A sketch is not, I do a random brushstroke, and if it feels right, I leave it. It has to have a lot of intentionality behind. In obviously, we will start with mid-tone.
Obviously, Mark.
And then...
Obviously.
I mean, it's a vertical surface, right? So it has 50-50. It's not fully light and it's not fully dark. So it's 50-50.
Arnaud, you've mentioned boxes a few times. What are you talking about?
Yes, thanks for asking. Someone is interested.
There you go. Of course, the jingle 4 meter bit, guys. You have suffered for an hour, so let us release that suffering. To be honest, the first 11 minutes of the intro were gold. And then my depression came in. Have you seen... Oh, fuck. I almost forgot. Oh, my God. Right. Hold on. I'm pausing it. Right, guys.
This is just to say that just knowing that you're putting things in boxes can let you open them if you need.
And the same way, there are a lot of bands now that do really, really creative, interesting, amazing music. We don't know about them because we mostly know about the super commercial stuff.
Mini Matters, a miniature painting podcast.
Season 4, episode 4. The joy continues with Mini Matters podcast. Myself, Jamie, Arnaud, and Martine. I don't think any girls have the name Martine, so I don't think that's...
I think they do.
Martine?
Yeah, I feel like it's my name with an E at the end. It would be Martine. Definitely in France.
Martina, really?
Martina, yes.
Martina,
yeah, but that's Ina. That's a whole extra na, right? An something like that. Well, I must say I'm glad to be back. I'm a little bit down. I was trying to work it out before the episode. Like, am I depressed? Am I just sad? Like, you know that feeling I always said I wanted?
Yeah.
I think I've got it. Like, I was sitting down before the show and I was like, something feels weird, and I couldn't work out what it was. And I wasn't feeling any happiness anywhere.
What?
Yeah, I was just like something. It's like a empty a well, a void of feeling that I was having. Like there was. How do I explain it? Like, it's good to see you guys.
Don't have to explain it to me. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Okay. Well. I just like maybe I've got some sadness about how my project's going, my Taskmasters, but I don't think. But it could be passive. Like I also might. Yeah.
It does influence a lot more than we think. These things. When something is not working in my desk, it do influence a lot in my state of mind and my spirits, for sure, 100%.
It's just I wouldn't. Maybe this is just the new me now, and I just need to accept that I'm basically a wimp, you know, and art is affecting my psyche.
But that's the best thing that could happen with your art, is that it affects you. That's the whole point. I mean, like with you are now, you're a mellow dude, but the fact that the creative thing that you do all day, every day affects you, whether you're happy with it or not, that's probably the way it kind of should be, right?
I mean, it should be, yeah, I guess it should be for the sake of the art.
You're supposed to give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't, difficult to get somewhere, I guess. Yeah. But it's a pity because
the trade-off is that sometimes you're unhappy and not just super excited all the time.
So you could almost say, in a way, that I'm becoming one of the world's best artists. Yeah, because I'm feeling sad that my stuff is shit.
Yeah,
it's literally the only explanation.
I agree. Yeah, I honestly, I was genuinely trying to work out. Yeah. Well,
to be fair, and you could play the Taskmaster single if you want, because we are getting into it.
Well, I can't because I haven't set up production value.
It's all right. The production value is not.
Get that fucking job done there, mate. That's the Taskmaster.
Oh, that's very good.
Nice.
Well, I did voice.
Yeah. But the intonation was quite all right.
Maybe we don't need the jingle. Sorry. Carry on.
Shut the fuck up. I finished my Taskmasters.
Oh shit!
And I'm not happy at all.
Oh, nice.
But I'm not happy because I think it could be awesome, and it's not because I did it quickly. So
you did it quickly.
You know what I mean?
So you did do it quickly, and that's not the reason why it's shit.
I mean, if it was shit, or no, if it was not perfect, but the outcome was just as expected. For example, with a kilocan, the kilocan, it was perfectly expected what I will get, and even if it's not amazing, it's okay. It fits the thing, and that's it. But this one has a lot of potential, and the fact that it's not properly developed is like, oh fuck, but this could be good. And now I have this feeling of
raise my hand here. You're in control of this. I don't understand. Like, what's happened here? Was it you rushed it and you were like, let's get it out of the way, or?
I mean, I have to leave to the US in 10 days, right? So I have.
It's a long time.
I know, but it's not like I only leave for the last month. I have a lot more things to do. So I was trying to get it out of the way in a way, even if I had fun. And then if I have time, I will improve upon it. But I'm not sure if I can.
So you're basically saying we're the same, is where you're going with this. Like, we're both struggling because... So we're both on a level in a way. Martin, I'll just give you a quick anecdote, okay, and the listeners. And we do have... So this is you guys can't see, but we do have that we're in the intro section of the episode right now in the bottom, whatever it is, right-hand corner, left-hand corner, if you're doing my shoulders. So we can talk now for as long as we like, and people will know we're still in the intro, right?
Yeah.
So they can go themselves.
This is useful.
If they're confused.
We haven't gotten to the actual discussion about Taskmasters yet. This was just an update on Arnaud's live connected to Jamie's potential depression.
Yeah, a short-lived depression, I guess. I'm feeling so much better now. But I don't. Also, I think I had a bit of work to do and I didn't get it all done. And anyway.
Did you want to do your anecdote?
Yes. What was it? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, right. So Martin, I'll set you the scene, okay? I've spent 2 days doing this Taskmasters on one Guardian, right? I've done some soul searching now since then, but it was absolutely dog shit, okay? And I told Arnaud this, and he goes, "No, I don't think it is. Just send me it, right?" So I sent it to it. Silence. Then he was like, "Yeah, maybe you should try something else." Now he didn't want to admit, right? But there was no subtlety. It was objectively fucking awful, right? It was chalky. The lighting was there, but he still didn't slate me. Like, I think if you or I now sent me that photo, I would be quite honest. I'd be like, wow, I didn't even know you could produce something that bad. Like I think Tina might do something better than what that model was. So yeah, that the anecdote is that even in like complete dire straits, he's still your man. He's still like, I'm not going to slap you around the face here. I'm just going to deliver a nice, soft message.
Right.
I'll share you the photo.
Yeah, by all means.
So.
Yeah, why didn't you, by the way?
Why didn't I slap him?
Just
share the photo to me.
Ah.
You sound like you're in a toilet, Arnaud.
What?
No, you sound like you're in a toilet right now. Don't you think so, Martin? I mean, we don't need to do this on the podcast, I guess, but like, he sounds tinny.
I mean,
hold on, I'll pause.
I'm okay.
Now that is better. Indeed, it was on the right mic. So this does lead in. Were you in the middle of talking about something, Arnaud? No. Why didn't you say?
I asked you why you didn't send me the photo of your cart.
Oh, why I didn't send you? Right.
Yeah.
It's not. I'll put it in the Discord. Okay. It's not worth sending, Martin. It's not something you lead with. It's like you go on a first date and you're like, oh, actually, I wee the bed. You don't start with that information. You get them up, and they slowly you go, and then eventually you stay the night, and then you piss the bed, and you're like, oh shit, did you just piss the bed? No, you let.
Yeah, actually, I had
anyone can relate to that. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I still want to see it, but
Yes,
also I
yes,
guess
I'll share it.
we'll come back to it through the rest of the Taskmasters. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it leads on quite nicely, but I do have a lot of other intro shit to say, so I'll say.
Please do.
So, a monumentous moment for the channel. So, Alfonso Algrades, this feels fine. They, we shared a YouTube channel, right? So that's where this channel came from. So originally it was Miniature Art TV, and he produced for maybe a year or two, and then we piggybacked in with him. We released videos, and he released videos. And yesterday he finally, and in fairness to him, he didn't really need to do this. He gave us the whole channel, right? So he's officially slotted inside me, and I have entered him, and we have created a baby, which is this channel. Except that he's leaving now, and I'm the father. So I just want to say thanks to him for that, because that's like 8,000 subscribers that he's given up, and now he's having to start a new channel by himself. Oh, but that's Banshee, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know.
If you didn't catch his last name correctly, you might know him as Banshee. But there's not that many Alfonso in the game anyway.
Especially not with the surname Algrades. So
you want to try that, Arnaud?
Nah.
So, we basically had a call yesterday, and he transferred it over and was just like, "Cheers," and I was like, "Thanks." And that was, I mean, we had a long conversation. He's got a tiny little back scratcher, like one of those. You know what I mean?
Living like a king.
Yeah, right. And his studio, I've not seen his new studio, but it looks very, very good, actually. It made me, I'm not envious, happy for him, but also envious that it's like a 5-room studio, like a shop
people
floor,
that have studios. It's insane.
Yeah.
Some Elon Musk bullshit. I don't get it.
Rich cunts. I still implore you guys to move to the country that I live in, which I won't say publicly for legal reasons. But it would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Anyway, yeah.
Imagine how,
yeah.
It makes no sense for either of us to live in the countries that we do. So, I mean, it's an ongoing topic of discussion.
I kind of agree with that. You know, although your country, Martin, isn't shit. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
No, it's pretty fucking good, just generally and compared to other countries. We've got an election coming up in a few months, so I'll get back to you.
Okay. Right wing, I guess. Everything's going right wing these days.
It is. We might be a bit more fascisty after November, so then I might fuck off to where you are, your secret location.
Well, in this secret country that I live in, which is obviously the UK, the Chancellor was voted in right wing. Anyway, fuck that. We're still in the intro, so we can talk shit. 11 minutes.
Longest intro.
Get ready for that little
power. This icon has given me.
Change.
I'm like, I don't feel guilty anymore. So what we've
as soon as we switch, you can your ears will perk up. All the listeners and be like, "Damn, they've moved from the intro."
Well, it does.
And you'll know.
Also, the timestamps I hope will correlate to the thing at the bottom.
Best case, they will. Not here to please our listeners.
So, any other intro shit that you guys want to talk? News? Does anybody have any news?
Absolutely not.
I've got news. I'm pregnant. No. AI is really good. Fuck it. It's shit news. I'm pausing it. So, get that fucking job done. That is Taskmasters, okay? And we are now in Taskmasters, as is defined and illustrated by that thing there. God damn, this feels good. I'm not going to lie. You shouldn't really talk about how good your production value is, but by God.
Yes, you should. No one does. Everyone pretends like it just happens.
I mean, we had a few comments all this time that we are a podcast about a podcast. So I think we should honor that and, talk sometimes about the podcast.
Also, Seinfeld is a show about nothing, and we are a podcast about a podcast. I think we're breaking some ground here.
Yeah.
Oh, now your voice sounds like pearly crystals now, compared to the shit that we were listening to before.
And we can see the pores in your face and the sparkle in your eyes. Yes. All this new equipment we have is like...
It's mind-blowing.
It's pretty cool.
4K IMAX.
You can see hairs right like me. It's Taskmasters. So, Taskmasters. I have started my Taskmasters. I now have finished this Taskmasters. Martin, how are you doing?
Mm-hmm. I've got a great idea.
You've got 25 days left, for fuck's sake. Like,
I know. I'm chilling.
There's like, it's not
I've
really.
been really, really not excited to involve myself in this hobby for the last couple of weeks.
That's good. Pulling you back in.
Yeah.
Which it happens.
It happens, but it's interesting. I've been like this close to completely quitting anything to do with painting forever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's easy to define those sort of snub judgments that you can make, like life-changing things. It is as simple as I'm stopping, and then it's gone. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I agree. I have that a lot with like kind of like intimacy with your partner. Well, mine, you know, where I'll go, do you know what, love? I'm just going to pack it in, and she's like, what? And then I'll say, just I'm tired of sex, you know, and then she says, are you? And I'll say, no, you're right, I'm not. Let's go. And then nothing happens, and we both.
But there was that little lull in the middle of that sentence, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, that happens all the time.
The reality is I ask every day multiple times, and then she's like, for fuck's sake, Jamie, the kids are here. For fuck's sake, Jamie, the kids are still here. And I'm like, yeah, but we could like give them TV and then go into like the fucking bathroom. And she's like...
So for all our listeners, just quickly, if you notice that we've switched to the words task and masters at the bottom, and if you thought that would correspond to what we're actually talking about, you're a damn fool and you found the wrong podcast.
But the thing is, if we have to put the bullshit thingy, like every time we talk,
there's going to be some tangents. There's going to be some tangents. Jamie asked me how I'm doing with my taskmasters, and I'm trying to answer it. We're going on a little bit of a parenthesis about Jamie's sex life, but that's to be expected.
Yeah. I mean, it's natural, isn't it?
Trying to update our listeners so they're
it's actually
what's actually going on.
15-year anniversary with my wife right now, actually, right?
15.
Yeah, 50. That's not right. Okay, wait. Yeah, 15 years. So, you can't. I've updated the thing now, and it says Jamie talks shit at the bottom. I have to tell you because you guys can't see that.
You can leave that for the whole.
Just how is that not the default?
This is terrible. Right, let's jump back. I'll save. Okay, so
I like this idea for taskmasters. I think it's fun, and I've got an idea that I'm trying to elevate from the lowest possible effort to something I actually want to do.
That's actually a very good idea, and why taskmaster works.
Yeah.
Everything.
I know you guys have you've launched this idea. You've announced the whole concept of taskmasters as being very low, not expectations, but the demands are almost non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
So if all I do is like pretty much unpainted plastic with mold lines that I've like put some paint in my mouth and spat on, it will still be like that counts, you know.
Yeah.
Are you telling us?
So I'm going. I'm not going to do literally that, but it'll be very close to that. And for the last one we did with the Kilocan, I started with like, what can I do with a Kilocan that will literally take me 30 seconds, and then I moved ever so slightly above that. And I'm trying to do the same with this one.
Yeah.
And eventually, at some point in the future, it would be cool to do a Taskmasters where I actually care, even just a little.
You will
come.
Yeah.
Or Martin, a little idea. You give the idea.
That would be even better, like an actual contribution.
The fact that you were that far away from quitting.
I'm sure I'll definitely think of things that we can do that will be. I just like the. It should be more than just like paint a guy or do a thing. Like it needs to be something have a little twist to it. But I'll think about it. I'm sure there's stuff we can do.
Martin, I've got a great idea. You ready?
Shoot.
We all have to paint every metal star for one model. That would fuck Arnaud in the face, and I'd like to see it.
I would fucking enjoy it.
It'd be fun.
Like, so one thing that I struggled with. So I've learned some things. I just realised though we're 18 minutes in and we haven't covered anything. Like I'm starting to agree. Yeah, but what I mean is I'm agreeing with the listeners now. I think that there's a lot of shit in this show.
They really deserve everyone that really listens to the podcast, like properly listens, really deserve something like a medal or I mean, I sometimes doubt that I could listen to the whole thing.
I couldn't. Are you having a laugh? This is drivel. This is like the lowest denominating bullshit. I think this episode's been like 19 minutes. The clock is anyway. Look, this is me in my depressed state. All right, so it's fine. I just got I won't apologize because it's their own fault for listening, honestly. But it's not great, is it? So
should we wrap up? Or
well, we'll get to something. We'll get to something really good. We're not trying to end the episode. It's going to be awesome. Just give us a few more minutes.
I'm just going to stab this nut, okay?
Why?
It would be great if you stabbed yourself live on the
in the arm again. This I bought a new arm, and this one is magnetic as well.
Didn't you stab yourself with a scalpel in the arm last time? Or that wasn't during the broadcast?
No, that was when I was about to have sex once in my life.
That's when you were about to. That's what it was. Yeah, of course. Sorry.
One time, my wife said, "Do you want to get?" She said, "Do you want to have sex?" And I said, "Yes." And I ran into the bedroom, right? Stripped completely, got into bed, right? And then she came in. She's like, "What are you doing?" I go, "You said do you want to have sex?" She goes, "No. Can you get the socks?" That was really disappointing because at that point she didn't even say, "Okay, let's have sex." It was just, "I need to get socks. We're leaving." Anyway, the podcast's not getting better, is it? So Taskmasters, right. So this episode, this Taskmasters, I sat down and for 2 nights I painted. And I've worked out slightly the problem. I was trying to do N and M, okay? Is this right? I think this is right. On my model.
Is that where you fucked up? Because I think Arnaud would have said that the NMM isn't totally solid, and instead he just basically disowned you.
No, I need to show you. Hold on, I'll pause it. I have uploaded that now to the Discord in Taskmasters, and I did give no context, right away. So people might look at that and laugh, thinking that's sincere. So,
okay.
In fact, let me upload where I was. Oh shit! If I do that, everyone can see the Taskmasters. I'll upload quickly. Fuck, I should pause it again, shouldn't I? Jesus Christ! So the second photo I posted is the first day, and then the first photo is the right.
Yeah.
And
the updated of the first one. Yeah. Okay.
So I had it in my head. I wanted to challenge myself, right? And from that perspective, I have done that spectacularly. Because what it's ended up doing, it's reminded me that I cannot paint. Now, I've taken a step back from this original thing, and it's less basically.
It's literally that is starting again. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you could save what I've done there. Like,
I assure you, with 3 brushstrokes, it's fixed.
Your brushstrokes or my brushstrokes?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you need to know what brushstrokes, and that fight is to find them. But if you quit the fight, you have to do all over again and then find them again. You know what I mean? So the sketch is not about solving it like this. It's about having a platform to be able to fight it.
I don't disagree, okay? But you have to have skill to be able to do that.
No, you have to have skill to fight it quickly and solve it quickly. But a sketch could be a 3-hour fight of just changing volumes. You know, it's not, if you don't know, you just do and redo and change, and you know that's what sketch is. A sketch is not a process that you start and then you finish. A sketch is a process that you just anarchic and random
But oh fuck, I get so I think I could apply in my head. This is a sketch of what you're saying, of something that I roughly know how to do. But for something like in quotes as advanced as this that I have no real skill in, I feel like if I'm pissing in the wind basically, because I'm fighting an uphill battle. These are real sayings.
The thing is, and that's, I'm not assuming that this is what happened, but a sketch is not, I do a random brushstroke, and if it feels right, I leave it. It has to have a lot of intentionality behind of the brushstroke. So doing things randomly and see what feels right, that doesn't work, because then the fight could be days. You know, you need to think a lot. Yeah.
Well, what happened here was, I'd like to think I know roughly where light would bounce off a plate of armor. But I don't. It's the truth. Like, and also what I've realized is the dark areas are more important than the light areas. If for my feeling, for me to be able to feel out where, like, I've got a shoulder pad, the elder shoulder pad that's in the photo on the Discord, if the listeners care to go on the Discord. Like, all of that plane should be bright, basically, but then it doesn't feel right because it just looks like a bright shoulder pad.
Well, it is a bright shoulder pad.
Yeah.
The thing is, I mean, I'm not going to do a workshop right now about this, but everything plays a part. And if you paint a shoulder pad just by itself, you can do one thing. But if it plays a part in a whole figure, it will do something else. And it will definitely be boring because it's just one shoulder pad and it's not even complex. It's just the one shape. So it will have one highlight. And if you want to spice things up, you can add different things, but this is aesthetic only. And it will be high value because it's near the face and it's in the top part. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, this kind of plays into when you were saying that you wanted to spend 10 minutes on this. I think the sketching, that doing a Guardian and sketch in 10 minutes and getting the rough volumes and knowing where to put that really bright light in contrast to other parts of the model, that makes sense. I think that's what Arnaud was saying. Like it's interesting because this connects a little bit to what we were talking about last week about the heavy metal style. If that's how you're painting things, you could do a single leg of that Guardian and not have to worry too much about what the rest of the model looks like, which is
this was
not necessarily a benefit or a shortcoming, but it's a very different, that's a big difference in those styles.
Yeah, so lots of things happened to me this week. Okay. That was one huge thing that I realized. Like, it hit me like a truck. Heavy metal style I can do, quote unquote. I there's so few thought processes that need to go into it. Like, I'm having a huge existential crisis right now about this model that this has caused me, right? Where I pretty much believe, I mean, I've talked myself out of it now, but that I can't paint, right? To go to like what you see in that photo, to I would think that I could do a bit better than that, but no, that's what I did. And I wasn't spending 10 minutes then I wanted to finish, because I probably spent 6 hours on this model already, right? It was 10 minutes and then getting annoyed and then starting again. Maybe a bit longer, maybe half an hour or something, but certainly not that long. I wanted the sketch to come to me. I wanted to sketch it. It would just be there. And how everything interacts with stuff. I've never done it before, so I have no faith that it will work. So I have it's not comfort, but I have nothing to lean back on. I'm just like, my balls are in the air and flies are coming and slapping them, right? Like, I've got nothing to protect it. There's no confidence. Confident might not be the right word, but yeah, no, because I quit. After 2 days, I was like, do you know what? Fuck this. I'm going back to zenithal lighting. Like, I'm going to, not quite heavy metal style, but basically heavy metal, like what you did, Martin, probably in your, right? Where I don't have these horrible questions.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. I like answering those questions, making those decisions. Like Arnaud's always saying, you know, painting is all about making decisions, small ones, big ones, but just a series of decisions. And when you paint an Eldar Guardian in the heavy metal style, those decisions become much fewer, really. Yeah, there's not that much to consider. It's safer in a lot of ways. And it can be extremely difficult to do in terms of precision and technique, but decision making, not that difficult, especially if you stick to like recipes and the established craft worlds and color schemes and everything. I think with that in mind, and this is going back to what Arnaud was saying, like if you what you think now, I assume what you're feeling is that you don't know what those decisions are, like how to answer all these questions, but maybe you also don't know how to find the answers to those questions. So in terms of like how to do the light reflecting on the armor panels, you said, oh, I thought I knew how to do that, but I don't. The question then is like, how would you get there? Is it just by painting billions of armor panels, or is it getting a lot of good reference material? I know that I definitely underestimate reference photos for things like armor and, well, anything really that's supposed to look more naturalistic than, you know, classic heavy metal style. So, and then NMM is a great example of that. I don't know where you are with reference material are now, but I would assume that you always have to look at something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me, references are the key of art. Like everyone, and this relates to the meat of it actually. If we get there at some point, because
It doesn't say meat of it at the bottom, so we're not.
No,
I
can't.
We'll get there eventually.
Exactly.
Like,
Confuse the listeners.
We'll get there.
I know, but in our hobby, we close things into boxes, and I did. I don't know if you did at any point, but I did some art classes, some painting, some canvas painting when I was younger. And they were never, we are going to paint this, or we are going to learn this, like how to paint wood, how to paint metal. Like what the fuck? They put you on a chair with some fruits and some things, and then you copy it. And then you learn it by studying it. And this metal and this fruit and this pear and this apple will not be the same as the next one, because they will have a different light, they will have a different color, they will have a different everything. So what happens in our hobby is that we, instead of doing this, we close things into boxes, which is the topic of the week, of the meat of it. And I think it relates a little bit with the non-metallic thing that you're saying, and probably, and I'm going into a tangent here, probably now is a good moment to do a feedback session, because you had a lot of troubles doing a thing, and you have a lot of questions that are unanswered, probably so many questions that you don't even know. And if we do a feedback session, we can answer them, and then you maybe can build up on that.
I mean, it's very hard to do a feedback session on the thing I've done, right?
Why?
Because how do you even feedback on that? I mean, the model is so, you may as well just get a blank model.
But this is exactly what we were talking about before, about having done it. Now, you know, if Arnaud says you did this thing, but you could have done this, or you need to add this to this, you've already painted it.
Even though
the thing
it doesn't matter whether it's shit or not. It refers to something you've painted.
Yeah. Okay.
No, the thing is,
it's part of the process.
The main issue is that I'm seeing so clearly is that because you're not seeing the rest of the next steps, you just abandon it. And maybe if I show you the next steps, then it's like, oh, okay, then I can do in the next, when I have the next problem, instead of just quitting like a bitch and doing something new, you can just keep going.
Yeah, this could be a good learning.
I think it is.
Like
a good lesson. This could be a project for you to go through that horrifying, like Arnaud's saying, a fight. Just fight this model until you've beaten it into the ground and you're pissing on its corpse.
I just realized we've got the means to show the fucking photo in here now.
I was going to say,
I don't know why I didn't.
Telling people to go to. It's fine.
I just didn't.
They can find it whatever they want. We're probably going to have it in the background right now.
Said like, just fucking hold on. Right, there you go, lads. Right, you will notice that our heads. Anyway, look, who cares? The production. I never expected us to jump into this moment. All right, now Arnaud, what you have on the screen, okay, and Martine, we have the first one I did, which is the less chalky. right?
The darker one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Now, I just want to tell you, this was meant to be a red model, okay? But because of how I wanted to frame the whole thing, it's probably irrelevant, well, whatever. I wanted, excuse me on now. I wanted the highlights to be the red, right? But it's meant to be in shadow, which is what the whole concept here, right? And then you had the other lights going on. That was my attempt at my first N&M, okay? Okay, good. Right. Now
it's actually very funny because it's right.
This one is right.
The first one is actually good.
It's not good.
You did one step out of 1,000.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
But this step is right.
Didn't feel good.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. The problem is that you didn't see it or you didn't know how to follow, but it's like you have the right step in front of your face and you're not seeing it. So it's mildly annoying, but mostly funny. that
it's part of the lesson. It's part of what you need to learn. Like when it sounds so dismissive to just say trust the process, because you also have to know what the process is. But in this case, just fucking trust the process, and also kind of trust yourself a little bit. Like you've looked at a lot of models, you know what you're doing essentially.
I would start like this. I promise you that if I painted this, I would start like this.
Which bit are we talking about?
Everything.
You mean the shapes of stuff?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you where I broke down. Okay, this is where my thought process went to. No one will be able to see what and you can't draw on. No, I can't draw. Okay, so
good.
Go on.
Can you stop a second?
Of course.
We
are literally just
Patreon exclusive.
Yeah. Right. I'll quickly, if you zoom in, please, on the shoulder blade area, for me. Right. So I got here and I was like, fuck. In that crevice of the shoulder blade and the boob plate, I was like, that has to have light on it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I started putting light in it, and then I was like, fuck. Now I need to start bringing up the other colors even more, which was okay because I had the shapes, right? But I was like, also on the right side and the left side, I needed light there. I hadn't done the abs or anything really yet, right? And then I think I couldn't control the reds properly, and it just all felt like the back paneling. I don't even know what to call this, but this flat thing, like I was like, I need much more even light across there, because there's no, that's just going to hit that whole thing in a flat surface, basically.
I'm pretty sure that all your all your thoughts are right.
Yeah, okay. Well, all those thoughts meant that I started trying to get them resolved, and I think I was trying to maybe blend a little bit too. I don't know. I just got in my head, and then I ended up. I'm going to quickly go back to show them where I ended up quickly before. Wrong one. Where is it? Here. So then I ended up here for your viewers. Okay. Now they're looking at the last photo, the chalky.
Are you recording?
Yeah, recording. Yeah, but you don't need to go to it now. I'm just showing them where I was at, because I've just shown roughly the on that model. You can see I tried to fill in this chest here. I didn't try with the back, but I just kept restarting it where I was like I couldn't get any of the lighting right. But yeah, right. So now we're back to you sharing.
Okay, so now they see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So shit. I have to restart.
Okay, I'll pause.
Yes, please.
Right, we're back.
Okay. So now it seems like you did a couple of layers of color, which they are right.
Right.
You can comment if you want. Oops.
Should I comment, or
if you want? Yeah, of course.
About what?
You've explained your thought process, and we've seen the second version you
I
did,
see,
so
so-
we kind of know what you were where you were going with this.
This was my first attempt without thinking, right? I wasn't going out of my way to try and think about stuff. I was just like, what would naturally come out? And then I think on the fourth attempt, I was like, Jamie, you're such a twat. You piece of fucking shit, right?
You really are. Yeah.
And then, cheers, mate. Wow. And then I was like, do the volumes, work out the shapes. It's a cone, it's an oval.
I'm pretty sure that when I do this, you will say, "Yeah, that's what I thought." So let's just cover the main structure, right? So you know that this area has to have light.
Exactly. Yeah.
It has to have light, and that's it. It's just.
It's just funny, right? Because you heard me say it, and I knew that. But even on the one I did 3 afterwards, I still wasn't doing it.
But it's because you don't trust your thoughts.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, when you.
Sorry, it's good that you're doing a separate layer so we can do a before and after.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, good.
When you see, hopefully, that everything you did was right, you just need to keep going.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I see.
You will trust yourself a little.
It's like when you've got a baby and they're walking and you hold their hands and then you trick them and take the hands away and they just fucking fall flat in their face. No, they're like, oh shit, I can actually walk. I get you. Stabilize, as we call it.
Let's translate this shoulder pad to the other one as well. Right? You have something like this, more or less. And then what you said was completely right. This is also light.
Yeah, and then I had a little bit of shadow on the bits that were up on the actual. Right. Yeah.
And then a bit more like this. Obviously, you will have a bit like this.
Yeah, I did those too.
Let's do a bit more. Let's do it a bit darker on here, so we have a bit more context.
Yeah, I did. I was banging those out, and the legs were easy enough as well. The fucking abs were difficult. I wasn't sure if I resolved them as a big plane or as individual, and it felt more right to do it as a big one big one.
Yeah, the thing is,
but it was hard.
The abs mostly will go in. Obviously, we will start with mid-tone.
Obviously, Mark.
And then,
obviously,
I mean, it's a vertical surface, right? So it has 50-50. It's not fully light and it's not fully dark, so it's 50-50. And then let's put some just to have a bit more context, right? Okay, but this is absolutely terrible.
Well, a part of me wasn't going to do the legs that it was going to be a lot darker, right? And a lot, but still following the same testicles in your mouth kind of vibe.
Of course.
But you were intentionally leaving that much of the legs dark.
No, I didn't take the photo.
Because there's some bottom-facing surfaces or lower-facing surfaces that would be dark, and then there's.
Yes, I mean if I didn't take a photo of it, but the whole other side is basically blue.
Yeah. And then you wanted that rim light, like you were saying.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Then it was going to be bringing up from there.
So now, if we follow what you did and we start raising highlights, so we put a bit more highlight, and you start building on top of what you did.
I can't remember why it felt so wrong. I think maybe I just didn't see it through, and an MM looks shit until it's not shit.
Pretty much.
Who was it who told me that?
I think that was Arnaud.
Do you see how immediately already it looks like something?
Especially when you add that on his little fucking backpack, top of his backpack thing. Yeah.
See, only these are cubes, right? So you know that the top surface will be lit. So, and then on the top part, you can experiment a little bit to not make it so boring. Yeah. You can bring the light a bit more in the front.
Yeah.
I don't know why my brush is working so bad, but
yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I know, and you did, but you stopped.
Yeah, I couldn't get it past.
And obviously, you keep going, and then at one point you'll think that this is pink, which is completely fine. But it's already there. It's literally already there.
Mm.
And once you are there, you and this is what you would do with an ink or with a very good red or something like that. You glaze with it. Let's do different opacity. You glaze on top,
Mm.
I might even use yellow for this, like straight up yellow ink or a contrast paint or something.
To give it a sexy.
Well, to make it red, basically, like what Arnaud just did with transparent red. It's a great way to build up the highlights and then tint that afterwards, rather than try to constantly adjust it towards something more yellow.
Yeah. So something that's very useful is using a redding, a good redding, and then mix it with a good red, normal red, like this, for example.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And you mix them both, and you have mixed opacity and also mixed satin, so it's not too satin, and you can glaze great with that.
Would you dilute that with water or a medium?
Yeah, I never use medium, always water. So yeah, that's done. I mean, obviously you have to refine it, but nothing that you did was wrong. I didn't erase anything that you did. I just kept going.
So this is a lesson in it's not quite insecurity, because I think I said, Martin, you said that I said when we were off air, whatever fucking hell you said, but like I said I can't do it, and and then last week, you're right, we said that people say they can't do it, and then, or I won't paint that, I'll paint that when I'm better. And that's basically what I came up with at the end of this. I was like, do you know what, fuck N&M, I'm going to just do what I did.
And it's also, we agreed that your life motto of things always work out is very applicable to painting, because in this case, you thought, when you said it was chalky, you also think by then you've gone too far in like layers of paint and you fucked it up where you can't kind of go back and paint over it again. And I think especially with this example, aside from the fact that Arnaud is using Photoshop, but you can actually keep working with it. So actually, whether or not it's a perfect start, which in this case it probably was a good start, but even if it's and even if it wasn't, even if you actually I don't want the highlight to go that far, I want to add more, that's part of the process too. You just keep going. So really all it is that you stopped because you thought, I've fucked it up, I did the wrong thing. But all it is you stopped halfway, or not even halfway. You stopped a tenth of the way through.
The thing is, when the starting again will happen, like at a certain point, if you make enough mistakes, you will have to start again, right? So it's just about knowing when that point is the key here, right? Like, because.
But it's also a little bit like what Arnaud was saying with when you add all these, when you do the sketching and you just throwing paint all over the place and guessing until you get it right, that's probably not going to work out. But as long as you have some idea of what you're doing, which again, you clearly do, if you just kept going in this with the same volumes that you were working with these same shapes, you would have gotten to a point where you could have made corrections without redoing everything or going over everything. Corrections are always going to happen. That's again part of the kind of process, the sort of back and forth.
The thing is, if you're you can stop sharing on now and I'll jump back to the view.
Okay.
If you're it's that, like, to know when, right? It's like, at what point do you say, okay, I trust myself, I'm going to keep going and this is going to look good? I have that with Zenithal and the painting I've been doing for the last 15 years. And this was my first, maybe second, because as I did do N&M as well. you don't know, right? It doesn't just apply to this technique.
Yeah, but in this particular case, it's more like, why did you? Why were you so afraid of going in the right direction, in the wrong direction, that you had to start again such a small time in?
So many times.
And I mean, I don't know how much this took you, this try. Not much, I assume.
Yeah,
like
5
a few minutes probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how the fact that you decide to quit that in 5 minutes means that you are afraid of being in the wrong path.
I must have done a bit more on that for me to go. Like I that wouldn't have been a point that you're looking at there. So I fucked it up from there somehow in my mind, if that makes sense. Yeah, like I must have started to try and bump up the blacks, or I don't even remember. I don't know. That wasn't the point where I quit though. Because yeah, I was happy. I was going through. I was quite happy to make mistakes. So I wasn't like trying to photograph everything every moment. That was. I took a photo at the end of the evening where I was on that one, right? And then I took a photo at the end of the evening on the other one. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we don't need to, because we can't dive in too far past it. But yeah, I'm going to give it another go. I should probably try. Maybe I'll try it on the other model first to see where I can put my N&M hat again, and try and resolve it. Maybe rather, as in,
I think it's worth mentioning again also what when we talk about adjustments and fixing mistakes, it's not necessarily because you fucked up. Like when Arnaud suggested adding a glaze at the end, that could be part of the process from the beginning. You might have thought that's how I'm going to paint it. It probably is for now Arnaud.
Yeah.
I might have thought about it the same way or not, but someone else might think, oh no, I've done pink. I didn't mean to do that. How am I going to fix this? And that's all about mindset. That's just how you approach it. Like I'll frequently paint things. Let's say I'm painting like leather and I'll just go way too bright on the highlights. Maybe I'm impatient. Maybe I'm just working through, like too few values and it's really bright. And then I'll glaze over that. And then the previous highlight becomes more subdued and it looks better and the glaze sort of works to improve the overall thing. Did I do that because I messed up and I'm trying to fix it, or is that part of the process? I mean, it's kind of it's the same thing. It ends up being the same thing as long as you trust yourself to be able to do that. And if that's like, oh, I've painted 10 miniatures and I'm unhappy with the armor color on all of them, how am I going to fix that? That's more of a fix, maybe. But I mean, certainly for something like this, if you're just working through it and you think this isn't really what I want it to look like, then just try and figure out why and like keep going. But again, like it's a little bit about mindset. Try not to make it too much, to criticize yourself too much and go, oh no, I made a mistake. Like,
yeah, or
it's not about mistakes.
It only came at the end.
It's not about mistakes.
During, I was happy. I didn't care. It was only right at the end when it suddenly slapped me in the face. Holy shit. I don't know what I'm doing. That's what happened there, right? Like, I was, genuinely happy to do all those different versions and try and experiment. And because I was like, it's effectively like I'm painting 6 models in a way. Quickly, I'm going through it. I'm getting stuck trying to take it's just ironic that the first one, or let's say maybe second one, was better than the last one. And that's where
also, so something that, seeing the brushstrokes and everything, something that I know because I've been there, thinking about the sketch as something fast and aggressive, it's damaging, actually. Try to do a sketch carefully, very, very deliberate, do one brushstroke that it takes 3 seconds to do. Like, literally, the brushstroke takes 3 seconds to do. So try to, because a sketch doesn't mean chaotic and doesn't mean aggressive. It just means a preparation,
refined, right? Basically, yeah.
Try to be deliberate with the brushstrokes, not chaotic.
I mean, ironically, that was where I got to at the end, where I was like, no, spend longer, think about it before you do it. Whereas, and the irony here is that I can't remember if I was doing that on the first one, on that one you saw. It doesn't look like I was going fast on that one. It looks like the strokes were thought out and they were deliberate. And the last one looks more chaotic. But the last one was the one where I was trying to not be chaotic. And the first one or the second one was where I was just being a natural painter without me being in my own head. I don't think there's anything for anybody to learn from what just happened specifically. But it's a journey that I am on. I'm interested to see where the next model goes. I'm not sure how I'm going to apply like trusting yourself. That seems like a very specific kind of, I don't know, circumstantial.
No, but it's actually not trusting yourself, because you may not know how to do it or what to do. Is trust that if there's something wrong with it, you will be able to change it at any given point. So it's that thing, right? I'm getting too pink. Being afraid of this feeling is what makes you, I'm doing it wrong. It's okay. It's pink. I'll just glaze on top with red. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It just fucking doesn't matter.
No, I agree. When I say trust yourself, it's not like assume that you know best. That's not it at all. It's more like trust that you can fix at anything.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, up until that point when I mentally broke and disfigured my own body, I was enjoying it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I wasn't enjoying it. And I was like, fuck. But I wasn't as angry as I was 6 years ago, where I was like, I hate this. I was just like, because before I was trying to get better, specifically. I wanted to get better. And now I've got the idea that I'm looking forward to being better, but I'm not trying to get better. I think there is a difference. Fuck you if you can't. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, the journey's so fun when I can't. No. In fact, that's not true. I was like, the N&M journey is not that fun, and I'm going to go back to what I know. But I did admit defeat at that point.
Which is funny because it's the same. The fact that you're labeling it non-metallic is, again, the box thing. It's just the same. It's all the same. We can get to the meat of it if you want.
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
Arnaud, you've mentioned boxes a few times. What are you talking about?
Yes, thanks for asking. Someone is interested.
Meat of it. I should have paused. And
Yeah, okay.
Trying to find the intro?
We'll get there. I'm vegetarian. Of course, the jingle for meat of it, guys. You have suffered for an hour, so let us release that suffering. To be honest, the first 11 minutes of the intro were gold. And then my depression came in. Have you seen... Oh, fuck. I almost forgot. Oh, my God. Right. Hold on. I'm pausing it. Right, guys. I nearly forgot to say this. This should have been done in the intro. I even wrote it down on my my notes for the episode. There's a new anime that I want you to watch. And it's hilarious. And beautiful. And it's nothing like that one that you made me watch, Arnaud. Fugen, or what was it called? Frege. Frege. But I do implore you all to watch it. It's called MASH. Potato mash. Forget the potato.
Mashal?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I know which one it is.
Fuck, it's good. It's like unexpected, because I watched the first episode, or the first 5 minutes, and it wasn't good. Right? But then it got amazing. And it's season 2 now, episode like 5 or 3, or who cares? Right? It is brilliant. It's like Chad Powers style in terms of how much I laugh at it when I shouldn't laugh. It's very endearing and fun. It doesn't take itself seriously, and it's brilliant.
Okay, I'll give it a look.
You've got nothing to lose, Arnaud. Literally. You've only got to gain. Right, and let me just quickly check my notes. Okay, I've got other stuff, but we can get in that. Right, meat of it. Let's go back. Arnaud, take it away.
Yeah. There's also something that in the we had a lot of comments in the last few Instagram posts, and I wanted to just address a few things because I think we kept getting, for example, in the last it was one of the last posts, we talked about recipes and people were very defending of recipes and stuff for army painting, and it's like, of course you can use recipes for army painting and for whatever you want. It's not like we want to when we talk about things, we don't want to restrict things for anyone, and everything has its own place, but we are talking about one type of painting. I mean, trying to get better, or recipes will get you where they get you, but you know what I mean.
This is can I interject, or are you on your rant?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
This is what Alfonso's main thing was, that when we were learning, was to this is very specific like thing, but it was to get to know colors, and by using paints out of the bottle you don't understand colors, and when you understand colors things become easier. I will caveat that by saying actually it makes your life 10 times harder. So by having a recipe for someone who's starting out, who's not in any way artistic, it's like if you don't have recipes, you'll stop. I think you'll stop really quickly, because you'll be like, well, I can't get that color that I want to recreate of that thing that I'm using, and if I don't use a recipe, I'm just going to get frustrated and quit and blame everybody, right? So, and it's exactly what you're saying. Everything has a place, right? It just happens that the conversation that we were talking about, and that's I'm jumping.
Yeah, and same with giving colors and colors that matter. Without what we say that colors that matter. Of course, if someone asks, we will say it. Of course, we are not going to say, yeah, that doesn't matter. Look at it for yourself. That's not how it works. But
yeah, there were I think a couple of comments about
exactly
didn't want to share
exactly,
and I'd like to point to whoever wrote that. You haven't asked me personally, and if you do, I'll tell you. I get questions a lot on Instagram about specific things that I've painted, and I've written down the recipes for most of them. So
which in these comments the word gatekeeping kept coming up.
Yeah,
like we don't want to share our colors, and obviously they can think whatever they want. It's the internet, so we would never take it seriously.
It would be weird if they didn't think that.
But it's not even possible to share the colors most of the times. That's why
for your style of painting, it would be if you're doing.
Of course, if you paint by recipes, of course. I mean.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's the misunderstanding. When you say that you can't share the paints you use, the colors you use, you mean that literally, because you probably don't even know. And when I've done some things I've painted, I've written down the exact recipe in the kind of heavy metal format, which is something that I can do and sometimes do. So if I have it, I'll give it to you. But also, if someone's like, which putty did you use, or which sand did you use, or which tufts, like I'll tell you. There's no secrets that we're trying to keep. Is probably the point we're trying to make. Like,
exactly.
We're not trying to safeguard our trade secrets that are unique to us.
That people think that we are. Like,
yeah, maybe, but it's like that's not. Yeah. It's not really how that works. That we're like, no, if everyone knew the paints we used, then everyone could do it. Like, yeah, we want everyone to do it. Fire away.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is we're going to set up a Patreon specifically for questions.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a per question Patreon. So we're absolutely going to share our stuff, but it's going to cost you.
Yeah, I mean, £10 per question.
Yeah, literally £10 per question. And
now we're cooking, boys. Now we are cooking.
Not per answer, like that's per question. So
per letter. No, that's ridiculous. No one has that much money. I have loved the comments. When I read anything like that about actual painting, I completely switch off and I don't know what they're talking about. But I like the comments where people call me a piece of shit or blah, blah, blah. So keep those ones up.
and you can tell that most comments in socials they haven't listened to the podcast, they don't know the context, they don't know maybe who we are or what we do. So yeah, if you see a random guy talking about colors that matter, and you are painting with recipes, then it's like yes, of course they matter, because that's normal.
I pay money for this thing to upload to different places, right? So I only have to do it in one thing. I'm just telling you that I'm spending money and you guys aren't. I just want you to realize how much better I am than I am though. But yes, the main point here was on TikTok, somebody saw your video and they go, I don't know who that man with the hair thinks he is, but why is he talking about stuff like that? And I laughed a lot. I didn't reply. I had nothing to say, but I just like the fact that he hates you, Arnaud, for your opinion.
It's totally fine. I mean, it's understandable completely.
Exactly. And
which of your many opinions got this comment? That's amazing.
It was like our first TikTok comment as well. I was very happy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. To be honest, if any time people, let's do the meat of it because I'm yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know what was the meat that met.
You were talking about boxes and maybe restrictions. Is that the point?
Right. Jamie is non-metallic. So I was what?
You can't really call mine non-metallic.
No.
Close enough.
Well, but the fact that you think about it as non-metallic, it's funny. In the way that it's like I know how to do some things, but when I think about it in a non-metallic approach, then it's like, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Which is very funny because it's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that
true.
It's the kind of headline of it. The subject of the thing changes the way you look at it. Yeah.
I've been thinking about this topic a lot because I talked with someone a while ago, and I really think that obviously boxes are useful for learning, but they get you stuck. And when you think, for example, learning how to do non-metallic, and you learn how to do non-metallic in one way, if you think in a box like doing non-metallic, as a thing, you will always do the same non-metallic, because for you, doing non-metallic is that. It's not anything else. It's just that. Same as if I learn how to do leather, then leather is just that. Instead, when you learn, or at least was what happened to me when I was doing painting classes, it's just you study what you have in front of you, and every single time it will be different. So you don't even question what you are trying to paint as a topic. You don't close things up, because, and this is something that it came up in the Discord not long ago, where a guy asked me about reflective non-metallic, right?
I saw that question. I was gonna get to that as well, actually.
And I was like, I mean, I cannot give you an answer because it depends on what type of non-metallic you want to do. But if you close off non-metallic into a very reflective thing, then yes. But there's metals in infinite types of reflectiveness, color, texture. So what is it that you are trying to do? And my answer to your question will go according to what you are trying to do. You guys know what I mean, right? Because
of course. I think it's this relates to what I was.
That's why
this relates to what I was saying before about reference material, because I've had in my mind this idea that some people are good and will be able to paint things like NMM and fur and the exact patterns of like raccoon, because they just know how things look. And I keep forgetting and underestimating how much people actually use reference material. And the funny thing about NMM, and I love that we've become so obsessed with this expression and that term for something that just means reflective, that we've completely disregarded what that stands for, and the fact that we're painting metal, like metallic surfaces, or maybe reflective surfaces. So the armor that you're doing, and the armor that you're doing, Jamie, Let's completely disregard the fact that it's not made of metal. It's like wraith bone or whatever mesh, but whatever it is. It's also not really metal. Like
reflective.
shiny
It's 100%
candy red
reflective.
car isn't NMM. It's probably made of metal.
What happens with plastic? What happens
Exactly.
with latex?
Plastic can be just as reflective. Latex is probably even more. Exactly. It's great examples. And leather's kind of the same thing. So it's really like with NMM, all you have to do is just stop thinking of it as NMM and think of like, what is it you're trying to paint? Is it armor? Is it shiny armor? Okay, skip metallic, skip NMM completely. Is it a tattered, rusty piece of shit? Kind of cast iron piece of metallic.
Exactly.
Well,
what kind of metal?
That's what you're trying to paint then.
Is it
Never mind. Are you doing NMM or TNMM? Like, no, that's what you're trying to represent. That's all it is. If you want to use gray paints, metallic paints, yellow paints, or mix all of them, that's completely beside the point.
And of course, I know that it's useful to learn like this, but it also stops you from seeing outside of this box. And it's like painting silver, you have to use blue, which is something that I never understood. Well, I mean, I can tell you many examples where there's no blue in metal. And if they reflect the sky, then maybe yes. But some metals will be more brownish, some metals will be, it's that. And you have that idea that silver, what the fuck?
It had gestures.
Oh, shit. Wait.
Did you do that?
We're living the
can't
future.
do that, right?
No, it's his webcam.
Is it the camera did that? God damn. Yeah.
Oh, what? Yeah.
That's fucking magic. Yes, that.
It's because I'm on Linux. So I understood a little bit on the concept that you asked, do I understand? Now, I can't remember what it was that you said, but I remember thinking, I don't understand, but I do understand a little bit. What did you actually say when, Martin, you agreed?
We said a lot of things.
That whole
we said the whole thing. Well, it was my.
It was like that thing where you said
mostly about. I think it. So a sort of short of it is that Arnaud was saying, like, if you think of NMM and you think of a way to paint NMM, then you're too restricted in how you approach. Is that sort of thing? No, it's before that. Okay.
No, it's before that. Well,
different types of metals, different colors, different.
Before that.
Latex and
way before that. It was the intro that you gave.
Boxes.
It might be it. It's good content though, isn't it? Gotta keep the show moving, baby. Okay, so what's this meat of it called? Putting things in boxes.
Yeah, learning with boxes or things in boxes. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, great. I'll just quickly save that. Done this all. We are recording.
Recipes can be a little bit. I get why someone would think that, especially Arnaud, who is literally a box artist, and I mean you're insanely good at what you do. So I can see why someone would look at your work and be like, well, fuck, that's easy for you to say, but I need some guidance. I get that. I really do. It can be everything from a complete step-by-step on how to paint any one thing, or little things like some of the first NMM silver I ever saw had kind of some descriptions of paints. And I remember someone was like, yeah, I use this, like, I guess, what's it called? Sun color. Was it sun yellow? Really, really pale, desaturated yellow as a highlight. And I thought, that's cool. It's not blue, like you're saying you're supposed to use blue for silver, but this person used yellow, and it created this really great kind of mid-tony pale effect and whatever. That's more towards a recipe, right? That's not just me looking at something and going, right, I know exactly what I'm going to do to paint this. You might need that inspiration and that help. The problem then becomes if I've used that recipe for everything I ever paint that's supposed to look like metallic. It's a little bit like when you're driving a car, and when I was learning to drive, I didn't use the camera to reverse. And my driving teacher was like, the car has one, but I want you to learn how to do it. And now every time I rent a car, nearly all of them have that camera, and I really found myself not learning how to reverse into parking, but like very well, or
Yeah.
Just I don't do that. I don't have to do that because I can just look at the little screen, and I'm like fucking lazy, and I'm like, yep, that's where the car goes. And it's a little bit like that. You can develop a skill, but if you don't have to, you might find yourself more comfortably using the templates, the ready-made shake and bake versions of everything.
That's
And
exactly.
you might not find yourself being limited or restricted by that, but you kind of objectively are.
That's exactly what I was saying with pointing with the comments, because out of context, these things can be seen as, you are very good at painting, then you can say that for yourself, right? But actually, I always learned from scratch as well. Like, it's not like I was born already a miniature painter. So I had to learn things as well. And I know that because I had to do this shift by myself when I was learning through boxes. And then I understood why my how do I do another non-metallic if I'm thinking about it just in one way? What if I want to do a metallic piece that it's extremely non-reflective? How do I do that? Then obviously I went to references, and this opened a new world. But this is just to say that just knowing that you're putting things in boxes can let you open them if you need to. It's not that
that's a great way to put it. Yeah,
it's not that you have to completely erase the boxes.
exactly.
It's just that know that there's a lot more outside.
Yeah. And one thing I think as well with if you do stick to something like heavy metal painting and recipes, it's worth always asking why for every paint, every step, every change in value and tone, to try to figure out why. And if you can't figure it out, like, ask someone. But that's the relevant question. So it's not just like, which color did you use for the highlights, but like, why? Because that will probably have a good answer. And it might be not that deep and interesting, but sometimes that will really kind of lead you down a road towards like, knowing why means I can make that decision myself next time.
Yeah, exactly. When these questions happen, and someone can ask a question and expect like an answer that it's fixed, right? And if I do this, how this should be, and it's like there's no should. It just depends on what you are painting. A lot of things can work. It depends on where you go, if you have references, if you don't, and most of the things can answer yourself. That's the big takeaway of all this, because these things that I can answer, and I always will, but these things that I can answer, you can answer yourself by doing some research, by going to Pinterest or Google Images and look for metallic stuff, or for leather, or for whatever, and this will answer your questions as well. And you will learn a lot more than if you ask the question to someone.
Well, mistakes I've made with references, I often would spend not hours, but a while trying to find that sword in that shape for N&M, right?
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. Yeah,
it's the mistake that.
Yeah, of course.
It's you're offering the solution, and I often would get references and then get frustrated that I can't recreate that exact color or that exact feeling. And I think only now, the last like couple of weeks since we've been diving into our deep psyches here, that I've realized references aren't for copying, they're for feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
it's to answer questions.
Yeah, and finding a sword with the perfect N&M example of somebody else who's painted the same sword doesn't teach me how to do it. I just copy that, and then I learn none of the principles on what I'm trying to do. So, yeah, it's a easy mistake to make, especially with so much stuff. But also, you spend as long looking as you do just trying to experiment on it. But it's a safety.
Absolutely.
Because if it's so much easier. It's the same with it's what I'm going through now, when I've just realized heavy metal style means I'm comfortable because it's a lot less questions asking. And if I have a reference force and I can copy it, there's no questions, I can just copy it. So it's going to be a lot easier. And then my technical ability can come out rather than my artistic side. I mean, that's a general sweeping generalization, but
you do raise a really good point, because looking at references is the whole thing by itself. You need to know what to look for, what to extract from it. What you have to do is analyze what happens with that piece, what kind of highlight, how much does it blend with the midtones, how it's not about that specific shape on how it resolves. It's about how it works as a material. And that's why it's so important knowing that there's no boxes, or that should not be boxes, because then everything are materials. You have a completely, you know, it's like you have like bars, right? And you have a bar of how reflective it is, how or how matte, how textured, how everything, and you can tweak those bars and do different materials with it, and you will get to a metal, and then you can tweak one bar and make it a latex or a reflective plastic. You know, there's all of them are materials. They all answer to the same principles. It's just some have one characteristics and some have other characteristics.
It's tough still, and and you've got to be brave in a very. I can't use that.
But it is tough, but you can get quite technical, like Arnaud was saying now. If you think about it as materials, and you think about contrast the same way, that might really help you answer a lot of questions. If you've got one material that's reflective, maybe the one next to it should be less reflective. If you've got something that's really saturated, then something else might be desaturated. If you're trying to mix purple and yellow, it doesn't have to look like the LA Lakers. You can tweak things. You don't literally have to have the bars, but if you think about it that way, and you're just piecing together everything like this little puzzle of...
But all those things require commitment, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Way more. You have to... I mean, there's some artists that I see and I talk to who don't have those preconceived ideas, and they're just doing that naturally, right? And they seem a lot happier. They've got the hair. They don't have bags under their eyes. You know what I mean? They look healthy. Whereas you're questioning the wrong questions, right? Like the same, I'm a fucking little twat. He kept me up all night. But like, if I'm okay with just going, I'm going to enjoy the journey and paint, I'll naturally get further than if I'm like doing the way I've done it growing up, seeking for like an answer to this thing, expecting it to be perfect, blah blah blah. And then trying to piece it all together and living in this painting hell where, you know, I'm trying to recreate something, like, not recreate, but I'm trying to get or do this, like, finish that I want, rather than just being like, this is the feeling I want, and I'm going to get as far as and close as I can, and then just go to the next one. It's tough. It's tough. But painting is a hobby, right?
It is, yeah, and obviously this only applies if you want to get into it, into the big shit.
Yeah,
because it is a big pile of shit that you have to, you know.
There's so much fucking hell. There's a lot to painting. I realize, like, it's not as easy as people make it look, unless they're using my example. It's awful.
For me, they make it look easy. They're fucking lying.
Yeah, for me, drawing is like this. Is how I do a line and it looks like shit. Someone else does a line, almost the same shape, and it looks perfect. It's like, why someone can do a face with 3 lines and it looks absolutely fucking amazing. So and I do 3 lines and it's like, this looks like a Picasso on drugs. It makes no sense. Well, it's how a millimeter can change so much in a drawing. It fascinates me.
It is, but it's the same in painting.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah.
Like when have you seen the videos of Karl Kopinski drawing? Like,
yeah,
or
fascinating. Yeah.
some expert anime illustrator, and like any of these guys that they're living and breathing it, and you're just like, that's cool. You know, my favorite videos is when they start with a massive cock, and you're like, why are they just drawing a huge dick? But then they turn it into a character of anime or something. I mean,
There's one.
the talent.
This would be your favorite. wouldn't it?
Yeah, there's one artist in Instagram that I can share the video with you. He or she, I don't know, paints a face, and then he does a weird shape, and then this weird shape becomes fucking perfection. It's
I think I know which one you mean. It looks crazy why those things would work together. I know. I think I know which one you mean.
It doesn't. It's very deliberate with the shape that he's doing, and he doesn't erase anything. It's just, I don't know. It's mind blowing. But I guess that's expertise.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, sometimes I'm envious that my greatest skill is my job, and it's just boring coding, right? Like the thing that I've spent. Don't get me wrong, it makes me have a job, and I'm extremely grateful for it. And envy's not the right word, but like sometimes I see these videos and I'm like, it's cool that their craft is so visual. And it's sad that like 99% of artists who are very talented get paid dick. And then like, I don't know, a couple of 100,000, probably 1,000 are probably like well paid. So but I am also always like, it's an amazing thing to see. It's the same when you see, do you remember Fail? I Has Cheeseburgers. Do you remember that Fail blog? Epic. Okay, well, it was back in
Epic Fail, I guess.
Yeah, but it was a website before
that
memes existed, right? So every day you'd have multiple posts. It was a blog, and it would be of fails. So it would be like duct tape on a car,
Sure.
Or I mean that was its own website as well. But you also had Epic Wins, and they'd have videos of that. To be fair, they must exist now in a modern format, but they'd just have humans doing stuff that shouldn't be possible. And it would be like a guy
amazing shit. Yeah.
on the front of a wheel on one of those like scooters, and they'd scoot across a whole thing, and they'd like wiggle their body to, or like a guy jumping off and then doing a somersault and then going through a tiny hole. These things are amazing, which does lead us into. Hold on, are we finished with the meat of it? Not really, right? We need like a closing thought, don't we?
I mean, there is a closing thought. I don't think.
No, I think
be free, be relaxed, and enjoy the process. Would be my which.
Well, I would say.
Yep.
Just. It's not even study, because it's not like that. I never spent hours studying things. It's just about. You can get a lot of information if you just type a couple of words in Google of what you're trying to paint, you know.
But then you have to approach it the right way, because I was doing that.
Yeah, of course.
I was looking for a specific thing rather than this is where I want to go roughly.
Yeah.
It's and no one, that's the kind of stuff that no one talks about, I guess. No one's ever online saying, yeah, just anyway, fuck it, we've just done it and we're online. So I should pause it. Hold on. We're recording now. This episode has as many pauses as we've ever done in like all combined, and that's because. So, thought of the day, boys. What you feeling? What number? 1 to 8. Do you still want to go with 4?
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
This is actually technically 2, and there was only 7. This is a bit weird, this one. Why does some music have longevity, whereas others doesn't? So music that I listened to 10 years ago sounds rubbish to me now. Like music that I loved 10 years ago. And I listen back and I'm like, oh, that's fucking shite. But there's some albums that are 20 years old that I've been listening to like every month, and they're still absolutely amazing. And this kind of leads on to my frustration in color theory. That green is life, red is warmth. I understand that we link these things to those things. And I believe that music is in a similar vein, that we had to evolve somehow to have music in us to bring us together, maybe, or I haven't got that far in the music thought here. Now, memories, you hear a music. There's an album I used to listen to, Stereophonics, Sex, fucking whatever, right? It had Dakota on it. That was the first time I had sex, was around that time, okay? Maybe a year after or something, but roughly. And when I listened to the album, I remember that girlfriend from when I listened to the album, right? Things didn't end well, but I still enjoyed the time, right? And thinking back, it was a positive thought. But it frustrates me that there's so many things I'd love to be an expert in, and I'm not. And then I can't, right? But I would love to understand why music does what it does to us.
Oof, yeah, that's a big one.
Well, that's a big one.
There must be.
I do think what you said about how some music is timeless and others are. I always think when I hear old music that it's not even my time, so it's not tainted by nostalgia. I think, yeah, this is better than what I listen nowadays, and so I don't want to be that guy that says everything was better before. But in some cases, I don't think it's a bad or a wrong statement. Maybe some things were crafted in a different way, or a more careful way, or a more less, I don't know.
There's less boxes possibly. So Led Zeppelin, okay, my favorite band of all time ever. Nobody's better, right? The first 4 albums are my favorite albums. And it goes roughly 1, 3, 2, 4. Okay. They had 3 albums out in a space of 14 months, right? And they are, in my opinion, fucking like almost perfection. And they had 2 albums, 1 and 2, which are brilliant in the same year they were released. Now, you have most bands now do 2-year breaks, right? And I don't know if this is true, but I think drugs have an impact on this somehow to release creativity. But who knows if they were on drugs, at least. But there's a lot more now desire to sell and your record labels and blah, blah, blah. Back then, I think you were doing it because you love the music. Now I think you've got these tailored pop groups or blah, blah, blah. And it's much more the 2-year cycle. It's enough. Then we get the maximum sales out of it. You can do a tour in between. It becomes really formulaic.
Formulaic, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Whereas back
I think
then,
there's
you could fucking just, yeah.
I think there were a lot of super commercial bands in the early 70s that did bullshit, and many of them we might not be paying. Them. Yeah, we might not pay attention to them now. And the same way, there are a lot of bands now that do really, really creative, interesting, amazing music, and we don't know about them because we mostly know about the super commercial stuff. I think the crazy thing about music today is I feel like every single genre is alive still. And because of things like Bandcamp and how easy it is to get your music onto streaming services,
Hard to find.
It's no, but like all of it's just out there. If you're like, oh, I want to hear like a new metal group because you missed 2001. It's like there's probably a bunch that are doing that thing now. They're not doing as well as those bands were in 2001, but they're doing it. There's definitely bands that want to sound like Led Zeppelin now. Successfully or not, there's every kind of hip hop that's been released since hip hop started. Maybe not 1973, but like for the last 40 years, all of that kind of hip hop is like being made now. As far as I'm concerned, all of it's just alive. So it's weird to kind of talk about modern music and non-modern music, but yeah, with regards to popular music now feeling manufactured, it literally is. It's always funny when people talk about AI generated music, because I think like, well, is it really that different from music that's being written by 7 professional songwriters with the intent to make it as catchy as possible?
I agree. It's like it actually relates to what we said about painting. no, not today, but the motives of painting, right? And is it? Do you want to be a musician because being a musician is cool and you do money, or you want to make music? These are very different things, and maybe before, and this is just speculation, and obviously I don't know, but maybe before there was not that much about I want to be a musician, but I want to do music, or I don't want to be a X thing. I just want to do X thing, and that's what's it taints the craft, right? Because then it's not, you're not fully in it for the thing. I guess.
Shit. It went dark. Well, not dark. Deeper than I thought it would. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
a big subject, music.
most of the music I listen to, most of it is older music. No, I'll rephrase. Most of the music that I can re-listen to is older music. There's a few bands that have come out because I don't listen to the radio and I don't get any recommendations. So what I tend to do is I'll download every album that comes out and I'll listen to the album like once or twice, right? And I'm talking about a specific way that you can get files, right? So it's not every album that comes out, but it's every album that gets put on this platform. But then I go out, if I like the album, and I buy it. And it's like 18 quid because I buy Flax because I'm a twat.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm really happy to do it when I listen to this music on and on and on. And I do still pay for Spotify. So I think I'm all right with this downloading that I do. But I have a folder called shit because I don't want to delete them, but there are an obscene amount of bands in there. Some dickheads have been uploading AI music to this place, and that is really annoying because it's not good AI music. It's bollocks, but I still have to keep going with my little. But it's how I can find new bands. I don't know why I told you that because it doesn't relate to anything that we're talking about. But
I mean, at this point, the podcast is just completely dead.
It's fine.
And it's just
fine.
right.
We had a good middle section there about painting.
Right. So we've done thought of the day. But yeah, it annoys me that some music I can go back, like the Verve Urban Hymns. That must be 30 years old now. I can still listen to that like it was yesterday.
That is probably exactly 30 years old. I was going to ask, what do you think when you say older? What do you mean? 90s?
Well, older, I guess. Like,
because you said 20 years ago. That's 2006.
Yeah, I mean it's when I was young. Any music that I listen to past 18 is not old anymore. You know, like Rage Against the Machine first album, 1991, that came out. That's technically old, but I still have that in my heart as new.
But when I was saying old, I meant like 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s. Like when you hear, and I'm not into it, but when I hear those songs, it's like these songs have something that it's not here anymore. They have
I think they didn't have social media and they didn't have phones. There
is context to everything. I don't think I can honestly say that I can disregard the historical context. Maybe it's like almost like a fake nostalgia. It reminds me a little bit of some people who get like overly excited about, 5th edition Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and I'm like, you were born in 1999. What are you remembering here? But it's a feeling. It's a little bit like that with music from the 70s and 80s for me. We're all three of us are born in the 80s, and so really any music from the 80s, it's not like we remember the good times.
Yeah, I don't even listen to that type of music. My listening is very really boxed. So it's not like I talk like I like this music. I don't even listen.
It has something.
But you're talking about a quality to it.
So when I hear it in whatever, I don't know, in a movie or whatever, I feel they have something. I don't know. They are very.
Do you want a tangent here? But it's on topic. Fuck you. Right. Yeah. I watched the film Sinners. Now I've seen that many times, and I think it's the greatest film I've seen in the last 16 months. But the soundtrack in Sinners is what makes that film apart from the rest, right? And they've got in like real artists, but they're older artists, but they're still not from the like 70s. Well, maybe they are. They can do blues for a while, but I think the music in that has that feeling. Things I hate. Do you want to go into that quickly?
Mm-hmm.
This one's quick. This one's quick. I won't even update the
We're not going to talk about it.
chewing gum.
Good.
Good.
Deleted from the thing. Right, and that's it. That's the show.
Well,
I'm
tough
happy.
one.
Worst episode I think we've ever recorded. I'll let the fans know we've
No
recorded
way.
some absolute shit, to be honest with you. We
But
have
this was
recorded
the perfect example of like a reverse shit sandwich. It started off chaotic, and then it like you got this beautiful nougat center.
it's not the end of
and
the show,
then-
Martin.
Yeah.
We've got more, sorry. I'm basically saying that sandwich might be shit now because we're going to do Dr. Love Rush. Because
Right
we
now?
we have so many that we haven't done. Let's just do one.
How long
okay?
is this episode so
1
far?
hour.
Are we...
1 hour, 15 minutes.
Oh, it's not so
Really?
bad.
1 hour 15 now. It's
1 hour 40. But we've taken a lot of pauses.
That's more like it.
And that's why for you and I, we've been sat here for 4 hours. The listeners haven't. So, LG, the illustrious LG, Lionel,
The Lionel, yeah. What's he want?
tips for painting latex. Now, this goes quite well in what we've just spoke about. I don't know if it's just the same as MMM metals.
Did he actually write MMM?
Whatever the fuck the thing is that you...
Yeah, okay, the actual term then, yeah. So the entire question is for Arnaud, 100%. He's actually trying to just talk to Arnaud.
But we literally just spoke about it for the last hour.
Yeah, well, no, like 15 minutes, but
Oh,
there's one tip. There's one tip, which is look for latex.
You got some latex at home, LG. Just
lying around, spanks his
Bring
own
it
ass in the
out.
mirror. You naughty boy.
have a look at it.
Right, next one. LG. I guess as well as some tips for painting cast shadows and mixing shadow colors for skin in general, Arnaud or Martin.
It's actually a lot simpler question than it seems because people separate cast shadows and shadows, and they are the same.
Shit.
All the shadows are cast,
Yeah.
you know. So what's the difference between something casting a shadow on a skin or the skin being in shadow? There's literally no difference.
Literally,
So-
I think a cast shadow, I imagine is the immediate, like your body will do a cast shadow, right? That's the art. And then,
No, it can be something. It can be anything.
Yeah,
no, but that's
it's
what
like,
cast
depends
shadow
on
is
how
in
the-
my mind. It's an object
No,
that's
it's about how
closer
something.
versus the
The
sun.
point is that his point is that it's something is covering a part of the model in a different way than
It's not
if
getting the
it's
light, yeah.
ambient lit. Yeah, exactly. But it's not. It might be that someone is holding something and you get a perfect shape of that on. It can be anything.
So cast shadow is just a
But it's-
strong shadow, effectively.
No.
No, it's just another shadow. It's like Arnaud is saying. It's
No,
not
but when
lit.
he's talking about it, that's
the
what
same
he's
way.
talking about. He's talking about
Who knows
big,
what he's talking
strong.
about?
But that's a very common mistake, and it's a box. You are already
Yeah,
putting
no,
a cast shadow in a box because it's like, why does it has to be a dark shadow? It doesn't. If I have this, is this very
It
strong?
creates.
It's not,
Exactly. It creates a
Right.
shadow.
right? So the main thing is that in skin, very dark colors usually don't fit. And then the next thing is that the color of the shadows that you are using is the same color than most of the times you will use in cast shadows.
Thank you. There you go, LG. Suck on those nuts. One quick last one, because he's never asked before, and I don't think he's been back on the. I'll find out. Steve Trottetier, Dune 71 in brackets. I'm new to display painting, and I have never known what to do with the shadows. I know it depends on the setting and the ambience of the figure, but what do you guys suggest as most common way to paint shadows on the side of a model for me to practice? Could I just desaturate colors, lower overall values? At the moment, I'm painting a figure, which is fucking well, like he's finished it by now, saturated in a blizzard-like environment. Any guidance could be. So it's obviously very specific.
It's a good question though. Like it's the idea of having a part of a model that's in shadow, and how do you paint it to look like it's in shadow instead of just not painting it? Very good question.
It is a very good question. Yeah.
Steve might be our 7th listener.
Okay, so he's
potentially.
Well, I've never heard of him.
important.
Yeah, it's a big
So he gets a branding on the back of his head,
7
like everyone else.
t-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carry on.
There's many ways to do it. One way, usually, it's when you are doing a saturated piece and you want to do a whole shadow plane, playing with the saturated colors. It works very well. This works very well, actually, always. When you do a whole plane.
He suggested it himself. Is it good to just do a darker values and a less saturation? That sounds about right.
Yeah.
You're on the right track for sure.
Exactly. And most of the times you will have to do it lighter than you think. So the problem with when people paint, when we all paint dark planes, we think that we have to go so dark, and we play with just the darkest colors we have, and then everything looks like shit, because we literally can do nothing with colors that are very dark, and you cannot see any difference. So what you have to do is raise the light a little bit, but when you do it, just don't raise the color, just keep it desaturated, and then it does a very good contrast between the saturation, because color and saturation, light and saturation go hand in hand. So if you remove the saturation, you are telling your brain that there's less light. So that works as well.
That's why you don't dream in color. So let's go. Thank you there. What's your name, Stephen? Steve. No, Steve.
Is that it?
That is, we've got more, but fuck it.
We've got a long list of questions from Boo that he asked 6 or 7 years ago that we still haven't.
We could do a couple more if you want.
We're going to get to that. We might fire off like bam, 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 all the answers to those at some point. I just want to remind Boo, if he's still alive and listening.
He's quit because we didn't answer his things. I've not seen him online.
Probably did. Yeah.
It was a life for death.
He's got 4 kids. He's a busy guy. I'd understand if he's got better shit to do.
4 kids. So he's literally had sex 4 times.
Wow.
That's insane. That is
insane. I guess. Yeah. That's
fuck.
Wow.
Imagine that. 15 years. 15 long years. To be honest with you, no one asked, but it doesn't feel like 15 years. I still in my head, we've been together like a year, me and my bitch. So I'm surprised it's 15 years. Yeah.
Is it good? Why is it good? I don't know. It's a thing.
Well, it's because we don't spend any time together. Oh boy. Oh God. Okay. Guys.
Let's just put this down.
Yeah.
Let's just
I'm gonna drag this episode out by its neck and shoot it.
I've had fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm not sure if our listeners will share our
Well, we'll see on the reaction. I actually wanted to go through some of the comments as well, but it's too late now. But there were some fantastically good comments on there. I'm not going to do them, but I do want to collate them. We did have someone say sorry, and that the cast is fantastic. But stop talking over each other. That's important.
Yeah, don't tell me what to do though. I do think if someone has commented and said that we're a bit disorganized after this episode, you don't have to say that again. We got the message. We just didn't.
Well, I went the opposite. I'm stubborn, right? So I deliberately got. To be honest, I don't know what's gone on in this episode. All I know is we're still
one day
together.
We should release the episode without the cuts. And the 4 hours.
We'd probably have the police on our case at that point.
maybe.
So it'd be illegal to release something that good.
These are for Patreons only.
I can't wait till our Patreon starts. It's going to be amazing.
Let us know if you want a Patreon and how much you'll pay for it.
Yeah, 15 quid. Why is my audio? We should have done a sound check. See you later, guys. Thanks for coming.
See ya.
Thanks.